Hey everybody, I'm Sonic Suns. It's June 7, 2007. I'm doing a response to my The Parable of the Snakes video. So, Atheologica wrote, so the point is to consume as much as possible, because even though our consumption may not solve any problems, there's a chance it will, and therefore we should consume everything because it might possibly solve problems because we aren't at least doing something rather than nothing, ... smiley face. No. I never said anything about consumption. One of the things about the parable is it only applies to a few, really basic root things. You can't use the parable of the snakes, for instance, to foster belief in unicorns, because, according to the parable, the guy has this antidote, right? And if he drinks it, he has a chance of living. If he doesn't drink it, he's gonna die, right? And if it's the wrong antidote, it's of no chance of hurting him, right? Now, let's say we change the parable a bit. Let's say that there's one type of snake that is an anti-antidote, right? That it doesn't hurt you, but it reacts negatively to the antidote, and therefore, if you were bit by that type of snake, then the antidote will kill you. Okay, then you have a conundrum. Then we have, okay, if it was this type of snake, I take the antidote and it saves me. If it was this type of snake, I take the antidote and it kills me. If it was this type of snake, I don't take it and I die. This type of snake, I don't take it and I live. You see? You see the trickiness of it? So, if there's a chance of an action causing harm, if the antidote could actually kill him somehow, and he wouldn't have died otherwise, right? Then you start weighing probabilities and figuring out, what are the odds in either direction. There's no assumption to be done. The thing is that I'm talking about here, that, like with free will, for instance, alright? Free will, if you have it, you ought to believe in it, right? If there's no such thing as free will, right? And you believe in free will, then that free will must have been, or that choice, that is, must have been the cause of just destiny, right? So, if it's just the cause of destiny that you made that choice anyway, then it doesn't matter that you made that choice, because apparently you had no choice to begin with, right? So, you have to choose that free will does exist, in one form or another, because if it doesn't, then apparently you weren't making a choice. Do you see the trickiness of this? Essentially, it's like that antidote where, it can't possibly cause the guy any harm, right? So he's got to believe in it. If you have unicorns, you believe in unicorns, well, that could cause you a lot of harm, because you might spend, a grand amount of time and money looking for unicorns, and it turns out they don't exist. And I shouldn't have assumed that. But, in the case of free will, or in the case of meaning to the universe, right? It's not as if you're going to say, I believe that there is meaning to the universe, and there isn't, and I wasted all my time believing that. Because this is a particular extreme and or basic scenario, right? If there is no meaning to the universe, then you can't possibly bemoan the fact that you wasted your time believing that there was meaning. Right? Because if there's no meaning, there's no waste. There's no, that was a bad idea. Same thing with free will and destiny. There's no, that was a bad choice. Because apparently there was no choice, and apparently there was no meaning. So in these particular things, where there is no possible negative outcome to the basic belief in free will, just the basic one, alright? Because you could make all sorts of weird ideas of what free will really is, but the basic idea of something along the lines of free will has to exist. There's no possible negative outcome to that, because any negative outcome must have been part of destiny if you're believing wrong. And otherwise, if you're believing right, then you are believing right, and if you're right, then that makes things better, right? Being right, knowing, having correct beliefs, that's a good thing. And, whoa, sorry about the camera. Same thing with the destiny deal. Alright? There's no possible... I mean, it's not fantastic. Same thing with the meaning deal, is there's no possible negative outcome to believing in meaning of some form. We could figure out what the meaning is and have debates on that. But there's some sort of meaning or purpose and good and evil to the world. Because if there isn't, then it doesn't matter that you believed in that. And therefore, there's no negative outcome to it. If there's no meaning to the universe, then there's no positive or negative outcomes to anything, right? Doesn't matter. But if it does exist, then the basic belief in destiny would screw you over. And the basic belief in nihilism would mess you up, wouldn't it? It would. So you've got to believe in free will and in meaning, in good and evil. Because those beliefs only have the chance of turning out good for you. Whereas with unicorns, you believe that you're going to waste a lot of time. Right? Whereas with consumption, this person, I didn't say anything about consumption, but yeah, I don't believe in consuming extreme amount because, you know, that's going to have a negative effect. But believing in the basic idea of there being some sort of good and evil, that can't possibly have a negative effect. It can only have a positive effect or no effect at all, depending on whether the universe has meaning or not. So, you're either faced with a positive effect or no effect at all. Go for the positive. There's no bad chances on this. There's no negative outcome. So that's what I mean by the parable of the snakes, and I hope I've clarified it. If not, I'll make yet another video. Thanks for watching.